It was like a mystery. I felt so down, like, what kind of mistake is this?
Fresh blood, 5 days. Lagos lab kò sí.
Most people just don't want to associate. They just stay at arm's length, or probably they are friends with you until they find out, and the next thing is, okay, let's just keep at arm's length, hi, and all that. That is where it's going to end.
As a person living with sickle cell, it's not every time you see us smiling or laughing that we are okay 100%. Sometimes we always like, we don't want people to stigmatize us, or we don't want people to see us as burden. So that's why we always laugh.
Had a long time of interesting events from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today, day 4, and we're going to be examining storytelling for social impact. How the creatives have used their experience and their talents to create social impact in our society. And we shall be discussing with different kinds of creatives this afternoon, ranging from photographers to people in fashion. They will look at the paint artists and also those in different areas of creativity. According to National Storytelling Network, storytelling is inherent in every human being, and that gives a voice to your value. Today, we want to give a voice to these creatives to see how they were able to discover their own value and give it a voice. We have 4 dynamic people we're going to be examining today, and these are in no particular order. The first is Kunle Adewale. He is an artist from a unique dimension, and he's going to be taking the reins very soon. Kunle Adewale is the person that began what we call arts in medicine in Nigeria, a rare form of art that you'll be listening in on very soon. Then we have Inyene who is a visual storyteller and a photographer with a very distinct touch. We also have Henrietta, an award-winning fashion designer who has used fashion to create impact in different spaces. Then we have Olalekan, a documentarian with a difference. So I want you to stay tuned, listen to the conversation, ask your questions, and be inspired to create your own social impact. Shortly, we'll be having the first speaker today in the person of Kunle Adewale, and I'll read his bio as we bring him up very soon. So as we prepare to receive Kunle Adewale, let me read his bio to you. Kunle Adewale is an artist and a development practitioner by profession. He is a graduate of Fine and Applied Arts, Painting and History from the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. To own his skills in leadership, he studied civic leadership at Tulane University in New Orleans. His penchant for utilizing arts within the healthcare system spurred him into participating in related professional courses such as arts in health for helping professionals in Charlotte, arts in medicine at the University of Florida, arts in health research, and so on and so forth. Kunle's works focus on therapeutic art projects with specific emphasis on improving health and health-related outcomes. Today, he has impacted over 15,000 beneficiaries through his art programs in Nigeria and other African countries, including Asia and the United States. So with great joy, let's welcome Kunle Adewale as he shares his story of social impact. So Kunle is about to enter the hall. The journey is very far. So we'll soon be able to visualize him. He's getting ready to join us. So as Kunle joins us, I would like you to think about it. How can arts be used in medicine? Kunle is going to share with us how he has been able to bridge that gap between arts and medicine. When you're in secondary school, it's only those who are in science class that go to study medicine. When you want to do arts, how do you combine art class with science class? So today we're going to see that blend, the perfect blend of arts and medicine through Kunle. So as we are waiting to Kunle, we're going to also read some other bios to you that we are expecting to grace the occasion this afternoon. Live in the house is one of them already, and is a very interesting young man. He is Olalekan Olafusi. He's a documentarian, a filmmaker, and a photographer that lives in Nigeria, Lagos. He is a graduate of the University of Lagos, where he studied mechanical technology education. Ola is the team lead at Blackmore Media Republic, a multimedia outfit based in Lagos, Nigeria. Using motion pictures and photography, his works focus on day-to-day human activities and social issues that are mostly overlooked. His attention to details has led him to work with reputable organizations like BBC, African Eye, NYEB, PSN Africa, New Media, Lagos State. So, shortly we'll soon listen to Kunle. Now, let's get back to Kunle as about to treat us with his story about his creating impact in arts in medicine. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Very loud, sir. So we're going to put you on the hot seat shortly so that we can dive into your creativity. So how did you start your work in merging arts into medicine? How did it start?
All right, so I studied fine and applied art at the Maryland University. But before I gained admission way back when I was in high school, I think it was necessary. I used to have a childhood friend like that. We both went to the same primary school when he's in class one, and then JS1, JS2, used to do in the same class. And of course, after JS3, you have to go your way. Either you go to science, you go to commercial, you go to arts. So his name is actually Shegun. So Shegun went to sciences, and I decided to follow Shegun to sciences too. And then so I realized that I wasn't doing well in sciences. Shegun was doing very well. And I like, this is not meant for me. Maybe based on discrimination that, well, if you want good students, if you want brilliant students, are usually in science class. If you are going to succeed in life, go to science. Right? If you go to art is meant for never to do west. If you're looking for troublesome people, go to the art class. People who are going to fail in life, go to science, go to art class. So I want to feel among people that are not successful in life, so there's a good science class. Unsuccessful even while I was in science class. So I had to jackpot. I disappeared. It's also my parent that advised me. I left the science class to art class. I fell in love with literature and they were doing art and all of that. So fast forward to going to the fair to study fine and applied art. So when I was done with my first degree, precisely 2010, I started asking myself, what difference will I make? How can art be used in a different way, apart from maybe for aesthetic purpose, apart from decorative purpose? What that purpose can art serve? So I realized that art actually can serve a therapeutic purpose, which I was never taught while I was in college. Then I started making research. I went online searching for artists using creative engagement in the hospital in Nigeria. Nothing online. Looking for institutions or organizations using art as a form of therapy in hospital or in community in Nigeria. Nothing. Right. So I realized this was like a road less traveled. Nobody's actually doing anything in that space. So I decided to venture into it. So I became what I was looking for. I was looking for institution that uses art as a form of therapy. Now I
Mm.
found an institution. I was
Wow.
looking for mentors and role models that are using art, in care, for well-being, for wellness. I couldn't find. I became that mentor to many people today. So for me, art has really given me a voice. I used to be very shy. I used to be very quiet because when I was very young, I was bullied, and I'm sure many of us have been seeing things that are happening around being bullied in school, and that led to the death of a particular 12-year-old boy in a boarding school. I am a victim of that. In the place of my mental health, I used to have low self-esteem. I felt like God created everybody better than myself. So
Mm.
I felt like I was nothing. But one of the things I realized was art gave me a voice.
Wow. Wow.
Art made me visible. Art gave me that wings to fly around the world, and I'm still flying around the world.
Mm.
So growing up in a home where my dad married two wives, with 14 children, and we live in one room apartment in Mushin, way back. And then one of the things I grew up seeing was constant abuse, gender-based abuse. Because my dad used to abuse my mom, assault her physically, and then sometimes she would bleed and all of that.
Mm.
So watching all of this as a young child, in that home, in a way, indirectly, it affected my academic performance. I had contemplated suicide. I even thought of, like, I wish I had a gun. I would have shot my dad dead. But I wanted to fight back. But I couldn't because my dad was an excellent military man, and then was also like into farming as well. But then looking at having such background where the home is like hell.
Wow. Very touching story that Kunle is sharing, and I believe we're catching some nuggets, irrespective of his background. He didn't allow his back to be kept on the ground, and he discovered a niche that people were not willing to travel on. From his, like I was saying before he came on board, some people just look at you, you're in art class, you're a dull student, you're a science class, you're sharp. But he discovered his niche from art class, and that gave him a voice. His value came alive. And with what he was going through at home and in school, he still kept the fire burning. And we're just hearing that part of how it began. Because this week we are examining the struggle, the joy, and the victory of people using the sickle cell uh, platform to amplify such people's voices. And we can see from his story, irrespective of what he has been going through, he was still able to get his light to keep shining. And through arts, he started the Art and Medicine Initiative. So before we reconnect, I just want to amplify those major points that irrespective of what you have gone through, you can still get into better places in life. And this is what we're going to be sharing with you today. Your story is gold. Don't waste those experiences. Those are the things that will keep propelling you to make a difference. And irrespective of your background, your back should not remain on the ground. We shall be looking at four of these people today and how they're able to climb. You're welcome back,
Okay.
Ole. Enjoying your
Yes,
story.
I'm back. Don't mind the internet. Work. This story, we must tell this story.
So,
We must tell
Kunle,
this story.
your story is so touching and inspiring. We want to look at the turning points at how you were able to, how did you capture that niche of infusing art into medicine? And how has the journey been? Because it's not easy for anybody to believe that it can be used for therapy. So how did you, scale those hurdles and start making impact through your work?
Thank you so much. I I feel like the curiosity as to how art can be used in a different way, that is the turning point for me. I'm someone who loves to question things a lot. I love to question why everybody's moving towards a particular direction. I'm not a crowd person. If everybody's going towards a particular direction, I don't know, like follow like a momo. I want to ask why. Why is everybody doing the same thing? Why can't we do it in a different way? So why can't we apply this in a different way? Why can't we be innovative? Why can't we create something new, right? So I feel like that's for me is more of that, and most importantly, the art of wanting to give back. Because
Mm,
I was thinking about now as an artist. So I will give you a classic example. Uh, when I f- when I finished my program, and of course, I was employed as a primary school teacher way back 2012. So while I was teaching, I had some children that have one form of disability or the other as pupil in my class. One of them have dyslexia, and the other one actually had maybe cerebral palsy. And they're also part of the normal children who actually come to learn in my class. So I realized that these children love coming to art studio as opposed to staying in a regular classroom. So the art studio was like an escape for them. It was like a safe space for them where they can get to express themselves without fear of discrimination because of what what they seem to have. And I realized that they started thriving even despite the fact that they have one form of disability or the other, right? Um, and they started doing well. They started, thriving and doing well. I didn't know that, those things were actually preparing me for a kind of bigger assignment, right?
mm,
Preparing for a bigger assignment, just working with children. So being found faithful, doing little things, not thinking of applause or plaque or global recognition. I was just enjoying my journey. I wasn't, I didn't care about who was clapping or who wasn't clapping for me. It's all about how can art be used to improve the life of someone else. So I kept doing that, in the long run, I started thinking about, children in the slum area, children in the hospital. And then in 2013, I wrote a proposal to the management of the National Sickle Cell Center. I told them I want to facilitate a program for them, an art program for them. They don't have to pay me. Like, don't pay me, provide the art supplies. Let's let's find ways that children and young people that have sickle cell anemia can express themselves, can find joy, can find hope, can just interact and socialize using creativity. And then we did it way back 2013. That was about 8 years ago. The outcome of that art engagement was very significant and was very profound. And that, in a way, by default, really launched us into some of the programs that we run today, locally, regionally, and globally, influencing life, touching one life at a time as well, across communities.
wow. In fact, from your bio, you've been able to reach over 15,000 people. That's
More
amazing.
than that, more than that. Now we started the Art in Medicine Fellowship Program. In fact,
Yeah,
yeah.
very, very
So
good.
we realized that a lot of people were really like interested in our arts program rather than just being a volunteer. Now they want to study, they want to know, right? So we created an institution where doctors and nurses, social workers, artists, psychiatrists, everybody can come together to learn. We have PhD holders in our program. I don't have PhD. I only have first degree. But the body of knowledge that has been created through the institution that I founded are so relevant into what even researchers within Nigeria on the continent of Africa are looking forward to. And that's why we have some of them in our program. So far, we have over 500 students and professionals from over 20 countries in the world now in our
Wow,
program.
wow, wow,
So from
wow.
starting very small, working with children, now to becoming a global institution, where professionals and students can come and learn and start using those resources to support the population that they are working with. So all of these are part of what we're doing.
Wow, amazing, very inspiring. We have just one more question for you. You know,
Right.
some people have discovered they have talents in some particular areas, but when they look at around, they see nobody wants to invest in me, nobody wants to help me. How do you encourage such people to take on the gauntlet and still achieve their aim, fulfill their
Yeah.
vision? We have so many, we keep complaining, no capital, no that thing. What do we do to get more people up and become like you?
So one of the things I will say is this: Yoruba has an adage that says that "Ọmọ tó bá ṣépà ni bàbá ẹ̀ máa gbé." Sometimes
Mm,
people are asking for help, but they have not really shown their attitude is negative. You want
mm,
help, but you have not made moves. You want help, you have not taken any step. Or rather, why taking steps, you feel discouraged already. So you have why discouraged, you are disconnected already. So one of the
mm.
things I need to tell you is this that you need to believe in your ability. You need to believe in what you want to do. You need to make moves. Sometimes people are moved when you make moves.
Mm,
People
I
are
love that.
moved. They are moved to help you when you make moves. Well, your attitude is a difference maker, right? So you're not making any move. You're saying, help me, help me. Like, so nobody want to waste their time helping somebody who doesn't show an attitude to want.
Wow. People are moved when you take the move. Internet is acting about Kunle has dropped some powerful nuggets for us in a session. And as he was talking, a wonderful set of people walked into our studios, all the way from the Roach Leadership Foundation. I want to welcome them. I want to welcome Mrs. Oshoba, the administrator of La Roche. You're welcome back. Thank you so much. They came to build the visit and join this program. Can we clap our hands for them? La Roche is in the house. They're an amazing NGO focused on education and empowerment of less privileged children, and they are here to support the cause today. And as it goes, their social impact has gone far and wide. All right. So we have had a nice time with Kule. We're going to move to the next speaker, and I believe it's a lady. She is a fashion designer, and she's going to be inspiring us with her story also. Her name is Henrietta Agbola, and we shall be having her on shortly. Henrietta, let me just read her bio to us as we bring her on. Henrietta Agbola is an award-winning fashion designer. She is the CEO and creative director at House of Henry Limited, a fashion company in Lagos, Nigeria, that's into clothing production, retail, capacity building, and training for the fashion industry. Amongst other recognition, she won the award for the Nigeria Best Fashion Designer in 2025. This award led to her representing Nigeria. Hey, I'm seeing the future. 2005. This award has led to her representing Nigeria in the profiling of the creativity of Nigerian people around the world individually and as part of the Heart of Africa program, a brand Nigeria program that has really helped give voice to fashion creatives in Nigeria. Please join me as I welcome Henrietta Agbola, who's also my sister.
Hello.
How are you, sis? How you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Very well. Till London, so we can hear you.
All right. Thank you.
So you're welcome. So today we want to hear your story. How did you come into this fashion niche, and how have you been able to sustain your journey so far? But let's get to hear your story first. How did you start all of this fashion wave?
Wow. If you want me to give you the whole story, we will not all live here today. So I'll try and make it very short and sharp. Well, I will start by saying that first, this is an innate talent that I believe God has imputed into me. So I will first of all start by giving God all the glory that He gave me that opportunity to have this talent. That said, I must also appreciate, the role of family, when it comes to discovering talent, when it comes to discovering talents within. Yes, so I listened a little bit to Kunle's story. I came in shortly when he was saying something about his background. And the truth of the matter is that I came from a broken home, came from a shattered background. But we thank God that the background did not keep my back on the ground. At times we go through a lot of, trauma. We go through a lot of ups and downs, challenges, valleys, stumbling blocks, mountains, But the truth of the matter is that that which God has deposited inside of you will definitely find expression if you allow it. So, like I said, I'm from a shattered home. From the tender age of 6, my mom left us. And she not only left me, she left me at the age of 6 with a 4-year-old brother and an 11-month-old brother. So my mom was not in the picture from the time I was 6 years old. And that was very traumatizing. That was a very challenging period. It was very horrific for a 6-year-old to go through. But that didn't stop that which was within to spring forth. So at the age of 7, I just used to go to a little dump near our house then. They were producing t-shirts. So they had all these pieces that they just dropped on the dump. And we got to pick it up and just start piecing things together. Start making baby doll clothes. That's where it started, from the tender age of 7. And the truth of the matter is that I thank God for my father, who is of blessed memory now. Next year is going to be 10 years where he departed this world. So I remember then he would wonder, what's going on? What are you doing? And he encouraged me, even to the point that when I was a teenager, he would even, give a whole room for all my experiments. And even when I wanted to enter university, he even guided me in the course. Because the truth of the matter is that, like I said, it was an innate talent, right? But because I knew that I'm from an academic family, my father was a lecturer, turned almost a professor before he departed this world. My mom was a teacher, turned into a hairdresser, But the truth of the matter is that I knew I couldn't just say I was going into fashion design. I knew I had to still do the school side of me. Sorry, my lights went off. Just a moment. Let me handle that. Just a moment. It will come back shortly. Okay, so because I knew I just couldn't just, not do the school side of me. I had to ensure that whatever it is, I had to choose a course that, was really interesting. Just a moment, please. Just give me a moment. Let me just work on this. Just a moment.
Yeah. All right. So as we wait out to reconnect, like you said, she too has a story, and we want to encourage you, no matter your background, the things still reverberate. Don't allow your background to keep your back on the ground. So many people always complain, nothing, no helpers. I'm dying, I will soon die. You won't die. In fact, God in your life to die up to now, you won't die. So just dust yourself up and start thinking. There are so many things you have in you that only you have. And until you unleash it, nobody will celebrate. Look at what Kunle said. Some people, their problem is attitude. You have something in you and you don't want to make the move. You don't want to make the move to go and showcase what you have. And that's what the step everybody needs first. What you have, let it be seen.
I'm sorry about that.
You're welcome.
Sorry about that. Back on course. Let me put this back on. Can you hear me? Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Sorry about that. Well, we're all in Nigeria, right? We're in Nigeria. Yeah, we're in Nigeria. You never know. They say never expect power always. So that's not the acronym right now. PHCN, Power Holding Company. Or which one is ECO? Which one exactly is it now? There's so many names. We're all frustrated and confused. Sorry, let me just digress a bit. The truth of the matter is that we need to get off this national grid. We actually need to produce our own power. That's just it. That's the way everything's going to work out. Anyway, let me get back on point. So I was talking about the fact that I was a traumatized little girl, right? And then my dad came into the picture, and even when I wanted to go to university, he helped me in the choice of my course because I knew that I was actually going to work with my vocation, my passion. So all I just needed to do was to choose a course, right? That was easy, that was interesting, that I'll just slide through school and just, when you just wave a magic wand and you just go through school and come out. I thought that was it. But anyway, I studied psychology for my first degree, and I actually chose psychology for my first choice and second choice. So I wasn't given psychology. I did it because I loved English and I loved biology. So it was a course I selected because I just wanted to go through school and enjoy it. And after I finished psychology, I decided to try and get a job like everybody else. Even though I had this innate talent, I had been sewing clothes since I was 12 years old for myself, my family. Throughout university, I was sewing clothes for my friends. I was making money in school, I mean. But after I came out of university, I decided to get a banking job. I decided to get a professional job, right? So I remember the then Arthur Anderson. I went for their interviews, did everything. I got everything up to the very last stage, but I didn't get that job. And just at that moment, I decided to look within. That what exactly do I have within that I can use? And that's why I decided to follow my passion. So that's why we're here. So a couple of years down the line, it's been a tasking journey. It's been an interesting one. And because I knew that I wanted something of validation, I decided to take part in the Nigerian Fashion Show, year 2005, where we came out with our collection and we won hands down. It was a flat win to the glory of God, right? So it's been a very interesting, but that's how I started, but I'm not only a fashion designer. I'm so many other things. I've evolved into so many other sides of me. I'll call myself a multifaceted professional. I have interests, in digital marketing. I have interests in financial instruments trading and investments. I have interest in real estate. I have interest in business, not just interest, businesses in all of these segments, because I know that in life you cannot just be one thing. But here we're talking about creativity. Creativity is a cradle for so much more. Creativity is a cradle for so much more. So that's how it all started. So I'll allow you to continue the questions.
All right. So I've been involved in your story in a way, going through what you have done, and I discovered you have been able to create impact both in the non-profit space and the for-profit space. So can you just share in brief 2 minutes how you have used your creativity in through fashion to impact people, both profit-wise and non-profit-wise?
So which one should I start with? Non-profit or profit? Which one should I start with?
Anyone?
Okay, let's start with profit, right? Okay. Yeah, well, they say that income minus expenses equals to profit or loss. So let me start with the profit. Okay, great. So, like I said, let me go strictly on my fashion design business. So we train people. We have our arm where we actually produce for people, majorly just ready to wear, normal ready to wear clothes that people can wear, and you can get that online. We used to have a physical store, for which we have put aside to focus on our online retail. Okay, then we also have our training arm where we empower people on how to sew. Now, why did I decide to come up with a training institute? While I was in secondary school, I was surprised that we were 16 students doing clothing and textiles. 16 students when I was in Form 4. We drastically went down to 3 students when I was in Form 5. And when I say unfortunately or fortunately, I was the only one that wrote it for the WAEC exams. And of course, I got A1 star. But the truth of the matter is, I was wondering, why did people find it difficult? This very interesting and, passionate skill. Why do people find it difficult? It's because of the resources. So I decided to come up with resources that will help people in that light. So I decided to come up with training materials and books that will help people to learn how to sew. And we call it the Easy Learn method, where we break it down to the minutest detail and get people to learn within a very short time. All right. So people go through our program, and then within a very short time, within 3 to 6 months, they can do, from basic to advanced clothing. If I would just say maximum a year, they could almost call themselves pros, because we train them to the team. So that's how we impact lives. We give them a hope. We help them to realize their dreams and their passions. And I even tell people that the truth of the matter is that we don't only teach fashion design, we teach human relationships. In the progress or in the pursuit of human relationship, we learn fashion design. Because where you have people come together, you train them on so many other things, but not only fashion design, we teach them on business, we teach them on etiquette, we teach them on empowerment, we teach them on how to even be, a person of value, person of integrity. Because it's not just only the fashion design. You need to have those values. And we have values that we call effigy. When some people say effigy, our values, we put them in, a very interesting line framework. We call it effigy. E, for excellence, F for friendship, I for integrity, S for service, and then E for entrepreneurship. Because we believe in empowering the lives of people and making sure that their lives never remain the same. We would have opportunity to even counsel people, in every area of their life, their families, their relationships, and so many other things. So that's the for-profit side, right? Now let me get into the non-profit side. Oh, even for the profit side, I have a very interesting angle I want to share with us. Yes, I do projects for federal government and state government. So let me share the one for the federal government. So federal government came to look for me. I didn't go to look for federal government project. They came to look for me in 2010, all right, to come and train their youth. They were trying to put together a youth empowerment program for the Niger Delta. Because then there was what we call the Niger Delta crisis. Everywhere was in an uproar. Everything was shattered in the Niger Delta. So they were trying to rebuild and empower their youth in different skills. So they were looking for stakeholders, for professionals that can teach them. So they came to us to train some of their youth in the Niger Delta. So it was actually more of like an exchange because they had to bring them into our space. That means they came from the Niger Delta and came into Lagos to learn this skill. So we had what we call semi-literates and illiterates come into our space, and we had to create their curriculum. And these are people that some of them that have never entered the four walls of a primary school or a secondary school. Not to even talk about a tertiary school. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So we had to teach them, break it down, teach them in broken language. Can you just imagine me speaking Queen's English right now, having to break it down to like, my people are how are they now? Now we can't take this step, we can't begin measure. We have to break it down. We have to teach them in the language that they understood. Take it to their level, to the very grassroots. We have to create videos to train these people. And do you know the funny thing? They learned within the half amount of time. What it would take people 4 or 5 years to learn, within 6 months, they have learned it. And not only that, we were able to train them in all these other soft skills. We taught them how to read and write English and mathematics. We got teachers for them. So it was not only the fashion design, we even got teachers to teach them English, to teach them mathematics, to teach them business, to teach them how to even manage their finances. All of those, it was like a full package, not only the fashion design. So that was an opportunity. Even though we made money, of course, we made money, but at the same time, we also impacted the lives of those people, and their lives never remained the same. We give God all the praise for that. So let me take a little break. Maybe you want to ask a question, and I'll go into the non-profit angle of things.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that information. We'll still come back to the panel session. So you just help us hang on in the background. We'll bring all of you back to discuss key points.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Should I talk about the non-profit side for now, or I should hold on for that? Because I have to open up the non-profit side.
In the panel session, so that we can bring everybody in that space out there impacting.
Okay. No problem. I'll talk about the non-profit later. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You're too much. All right. So quickly, let's move on to the next speaker. Is Etty around? All right. So the next speaker is Inyene Godwin-Akpan. Very wonderful name. He's popularly known as Sir Inyene, a visual storyteller and a new media specialist with a difference, and one who is very passionate about capacity building for budding photographers. So welcome with me as we bring up Sir Inyene. You're welcome, sir. All right, sir, how are you doing today?
you very much for having me.
All right. We have gone through your story and we have seen how you are changing the game in the space of photography. How did you come about your unique spice in photography? Can you hear me?
Um, for me, it's a very long story, but I would say, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're clear now.
Am I audible?
You're very audible. Carry on.
Hello, can anyone?
We can hear you. You're very audible.
Can I go on? Can I go on?
Yes, you can go on.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, so thank you so much for it. For me, I would say, with all sincerity, I never wanted to become a photographer at the beginning, and I would say I was literally forced into photography because before now I just only wanted to do photography like for my hobby, nothing attached to it and everything. But in the process, I was encouraged and literally forced to take what I was taking for granted very, very, very serious. And I'm really proud. I took it very serious. You know, growing up with two amazing sisters, elder sisters, I happened to be a partner of the house. So growing up with them, literally 100 images, and they would delete 99, only leaving just one image. So I have good reasons for deleting those 99 pictures, and they would say, you know, my leg was bent this way, I was not smiling this and that, but subconsciously, I was learning exactly how to take photos and everything. And I remember in 2015, 2016, one of my sisters told me, you know, why don't you go into photography? She jokingly said that. And I quickly declined. Because she said that because at that moment, whenever I see, I was and I am also attached to images. And she has already observed that if I see any bad picture, it gets to me easily. And I always tell her that even if someone is doing this for free, okay. You know, that was how emotional I was, you know, attached to images and everything. So when she brought out that topic, I declined. And 2017, mentor of mine had me to talk to me to very, very serious. And before then, most of my images, I was just with my home, and that was everything started.
All right, the internet is acting up. Well, as we're listening to his story, we can see what drove him to photography. And we hope we'll come back. Are you back on? Can you hear me? Hello, Yana, can you hear me? All right, so if you can hear me, we want to ask about this pertinent question. During the NSAS movement, you were very visible. So, what made you think of doing the photography for the NSAS movement and taking up those stories to showcase what happened? What inspired you during that period?
Thank you very much. I think the network is a bit bad there.
Yeah.
But I think I heard what the question you asked me. Uh, um, I like to be sincere. I never believed the NSAS movement will grow into this level or this extent. All I wanted to do was to go and document the protest. So I documented the end, and when I say to the end of that night of the massacre, and I happened to be the only photographer on ground that night of the massacre, and Instead of the entire process, I just wanted to go document the process. And I wanted to change the narrative of how people perceive a process to be like. Because before then, I know you can also believe and just listen to me. But then most people believe protest is dangerous. Nigerians don't go out for protest. Saying that. But on that first day, the numbers, the turnout was really massive. And when this message went out, people were encouraged. And I think that was people start protesting and protesting. Then, if people can come out in these numbers to protest, that means, as protest continued, the second day, third day, I wasn't just seeing it as a protest anymore, but seeing it as it's currently happening right now. It needs to be properly implemented. I grew up, my dad of blessed memory used to tell us about while he was, and it was an interesting story, but also a scary one. He always ends his story with the biography clamoring for what Nigeria war before. If they really think war, they won't be talking about war anymore in Nigeria. And I only have information about the Biafra war. There was no proper documentation about how that war happened and everything. The only time I got to see one or two images about the Biafra war was when I went to underground safe house in Abia State. I saw one or two images about the war. So for me, why the inside protest was happening? History needs to be properly documented. I want to be able to tell my own children. I want you to be able to tell your own children about the answers. How to follow something and have a visual narrative about how the answers movement happened. And also, basically, I want to use the story about the answer and to also use my voice for social change also. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. To give your voice for social change. We thank you for such a report. So you're going to help us wait in the background. We're also going to have a banter session where we have all of your speakers together in a short while. Thank you very much, Inyene, for your time. Right now, we're going to take the last speaker to come and give his view and his voice about how he's using his storytelling ability to amplify social.
The visibility that they should have. So what inspired you to start working with or using your talent to
I was getting money, yes, but I wasn't getting that fulfillment, shooting events. So I felt like, so what can I do using my talent. What can I do using my talent to cause change? So I started shooting. I started out as started shooting street documentary, I mean, street photography.
Wow.
Images of people on the streets. It could be just random people on the street, documenting them, their face, their lifestyle, and all of that. Then I started reaching out to NGOs. A couple of my friends has NGOs that is all about giving free treatments and all of that. So I started working for them. From there, you know, when someone sees your work, you like it, they will be fine. So I kept on getting more NGO offers.
Wow.
Started working in photography, in video. And so by that, I think I'm getting fulfillment doing this than shooting weddings and all types of events. I still do them, but not as much as I used to do before. So yeah, it's just been clear Western English.
Wow. So I like the way you couched your points. You got tired of just shooting it, doing the normal. You want something abnormal. So, but comparing what you're doing now, monetary wise, to what you were doing before that time, monetary wise, can you say you're making more money now than before, or the money has reduced?
Well, I won't say the money has reduced because I still shoot weddings. I still shoot events. I still shoot concerts. But I do more of what's the word now? Documentary jobs than before. So I guess yeah, the money has increased.
Wow.
From both two different places.
But you started by doing pro bono, shooting street documentaries.
Yes.
So is there a phase in people's life where they need to start giving back before they start getting in?
Yes, I feel so because you need to, for instance, I used to tell people if you are in this creative space and you are looking to get jobs, get gigs, you need to push out more works of what you wish to be hired for. So I was putting out documentary jobs. I could just see there's a festival somewhere. There's because most of my work centers around culture that are becoming extinct and also social impact. So I could hear that okay, there's a festival somewhere, I'll go.
On your own expense?
Yes, I'll go on my own expense, I'll document. If I hear maybe that there's a blast somewhere, maybe a fire outbreak and all that, I'll go on expense, I'll put the work out there. So when people start seeing that this guy, this is what you do, blah blah blah, they would tend to hire you for.
You made a very valid point. So it's not that you can do something, but you need to push yourself out the more to see what you can do. So some people say you should start doing for free what you get later for a fee. So look at your experience now. Some people have talents, they are creatives, but they go and do one gig, no money. Do another gig, no money. They get discouraged. What kept you on in those times where you just kept doing things pro bono before people got to know you? What kept you on? Either you had money somewhere that was.
I didn't have money somewhere. So, like I said earlier, I wasn't getting commitment from shooting weddings. I can't shoot a wedding for free. You have to pay me to do it. I can't shoot concerts for free. You have to pay me to do it. It's not like I can shoot, I can do a documentary job at NGO for free. I can't do that. But I'm getting the fulfillment from doing that because I discovered that I'm an empath. So I like to use my work to cause change. So I can do the thing is, of course, you cannot get because NGOs these days will tell you you don't have money, it's blah blah blah. But then, because I was getting fulfillment from what I was doing, I can decide to okay, give like okay discounts. As against when I was shooting weddings, and so against you have to pay me now.
No discount, no negotiation. Wow, very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. Now we're going to soon bring everybody together so that we can wrap up and share some key nuggets before we wrap up. So as we get them ready. Now, how many works have you done so far in the non-profit space since you began this journey? How many works can you say you've been able to do so far? Documentaries, works of art.
In the non-profit space, I can't.
You can't count.
I can't put the number to that because I consistently do works for NGOs that are all about social change.
Wow.
So I consistently.
So now you're a hot cake now.
Well, you can say that. I consistently do works for them, and then that works keep getting me more jobs.
Great. Do you have like an internship model, volunteering model, that want to come under you? So then...
Yes. I have people that are on internship with me, go out to shoot together.
Okay. On the last note, before we bring the rest, what inspired you to be part of Genometrics this year? Why did you decide to be part of the partners to launch Genometrics?
So I've seen the struggle with sickle cell patients firsthand. I've seen what they go through in terms of healthcare, in terms of stigmatization. I've seen that firsthand. So as someone that is an empath naturally, and because of the kind of work I do, when I first got called from SAM to help document from their events, so doing the editing, listening to their story, could resonate with the things they were saying. I've also seen it firsthand. So I felt like it's important that people know what these people are going through. So that was why I decided to get myself involved.
Wow. And viewers, if you watch that documentary, you know that this guy is not a small fry at all. All right, not a small fry at all. And check our handles, Sammy Update on Facebook and YouTube. You see his wonderful videos. He has been a great partner with Sammy, and his works speak a lot. As we are going to prepare to get the panel back, I want you to look behind him. You see something up there. It's called Urgent 2K. It's our campaign to get 50 sickle cell warriors on health insurance by January. And all we just need from you is your 2,000 naira, just 2K. That money for shawarma, that money for coke can transform the life of a sickle cell warrior. You can bring it to our office by cash, or you can do a transfer to the account behind me, 020-888-3097 GT Bank. And you'll be on your way of lending your voice to impact the life of a significant number of sickle cell warriors. Right now, we're going to enter into the banter session with the remaining crew. We have Henrietta still there, and okay. So let's have Henrietta back. So Henrietta, we're talking about your impact in the profit space. I recall you did some work in Makoko and Ilaje. Can you briefly share, just like what Olalekan has said, how he has been able to change the game for documentaries in the non-profit space? So what have you done so far?
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate. Is my sound okay, or is it
very okay?
Okay,
very clear.
I guess it's okay. Just want to be sure. Okay, great. So much for the opportunity to share my story. Starting point is that life is not about its duration, but it's about its donation. Because we may have all the money in the world, we may have all the comforts in the world, if we're not there to share with the world your brightness, your brilliance, what you can give even for free or for a fee, you're just living in shadows. So some years ago, we had this partnership with ISEC. ISEC is like a university kind of organization that kind of brings in exchange students. They just contacted us. Some people wanted to come and have some experience in Nigeria. They wanted to give back to society. So we had someone come from Spain, who was interested in fashion design. So we brought her in. We taught her fashion design skills. That was our own impact in her life for free. And she also had a project that she wanted us to support. So we together, supported a school in Makoko. I think they call it the school that's on water. I can't remember the name of the school right now. It's like about 5 or 6 years now. So that school, they actually are on water. Like, it's built on top of the water. And we made clothes for them. We supplied the fabrics. We also put in the workforce. The lady also put her hand together. She also sewed. We all sewed clothes for this. I think almost like 40 children. Sewed clothes for them for free. And also went to talk with them, give them some health talks and all of that. It was really interesting. So that was one of the things that gave us joy, because we were able to give of our substance, give of our creativity, to make them happy in our now lovely Ankara materials. It was really awesome. I enjoyed that. Then another person came from Kenya who also wanted to do some form of social impact and wanted to give back. So what we did was that we made bags, school bags, with a combination of jeans and Ankara. Oh my gosh, I wish I brought the picture today. Jeans and Ankara bags that we gave to this school in Ilaje area, a primary school in Ilaje area. Like about 25 or so children got those bags for free. And it was very elating and like very heartwarming to see the smiles on their faces, to see them. I mean, these are children who might just be carrying nylon with their books to school, having such lovely bags that we, of course, we put our brand on it and made it so nice for them. And the teachers were so happy. So creativity, is impacting lives, is making them happy, it's giving them a meaning. Most of these children have probably never really felt loved before, and they were so happy that someone could come out of their way and show them love and care. So that's the story.
All right, well, lovely, lovely. Let's hear from Inyene. So, how do you think you can inspire more creatives like photographers to use their talents to create social impact? So, I'll just go round. All of you answer this question. How do you, in 1 minute, how can more creatives use their talents to create social impact? Like you hear from Olakusi, from getting paid doing normal events, is even getting more paid now doing working. So, in a minute, how can more creatives be involved in what you're doing to create more impact? Inyene, from you first. All right, let's go to Kunle. So, from you, how can we get more creatives to use their talent and gifts for social impact in a minute?
Money over here, and if I okay, how can photographers use their talent to create social impact, right? Um, first, I would say that when I started, I never wanted to become a random. My 6 years old nephew said, not everybody can create a photograph, and not everybody can tell a story with that photograph. So I
All right, I think
out
Inyene will
what
have
I
to
was
come
doing
back to you.
in terms
The
of
network is
majorly and using it for social impact. Even with my foundation, Photo Waka Africa, which is Guinness World Record like community of photographers in Africa, is using photography.
All right, thank you, Inyene. We'll come back to you later. Let's do this. Can we come back to you later? Let's listen to Kunle now. Kunle, can you share your thoughts on that question?
All right. So,
Carry on, Kunle.
you were asking how can more creatives be encouraged to use their art for social impact, right?
Yes.
I think most importantly, either you're starting a new venture or you are volunteering. I think in that way you are able to plug into using your creativity for social impact. But I think what is important is starting very small. Sometimes people want to like, oh, I want to change the whole world. You don't have to change the whole world. The whole world begins where you are. On your street. Can people feel your impact on your street as a creative? I think it begins there. Start local before thinking of going global. Even though you are thinking of going global, start where you are. So it could be just one step at a time, one child at a time, one community at a time, one organization at a time. Think about what you can do. One of the things I always think about is how can you use what you have for social good, right? Money is very important, but impact is much more important, right? Value is everything. So if you think about money, money is tied to value. If you continue to provide value, you will never lack or you'll never be stranded, right? So I think that more creatives can use their creativity and talent for social impact by plugging into existing organizations that drive social engagement, right? So you don't have to think about, oh, I need to start my own organization. You don't have to start anything. Don't start.
It's happened. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Kunle. So great points. Start from an existing organization. Very easy. Don't start creating a new road. Thank you very much, Kunle. And also start local before you go global. Now let's listen to Lekan. What do you think? How can we get more creative to use their talents for social impact and not just for profit only?
So I think that's like Sakuli has said, you should start from your local place. It could be not necessarily being a photographer, even if you're a dance. I know some dance artists that have used their talents to cause change. I know a few of my friends are dancers and they're causing like in Oboro, there's this street that is really, really bad. They danced on the street and like in 6 months, the government saw the videos and they tagged the street for them now. So basically you identifying a problem and then seeing what you can do to try to solve it. Might not even be creative, it might just be in any kind of occupation, or any kind of creative, but just know that you should be able to use the talent you have in your hands to cause change. Because the country we are in right now, if you don't, like we say now, if you don't solve us, okay, nobody will hear you. So you need to, by yourself, see what you can use to cause change.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So you can start from your streets. Start from that street. Look at those needs. Use what you have to get what you want. Right now, let's listen to Henrietta. What do you have to say? How can we get more creatives like you to be engaged in social impact? You're muted. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, clearly.
Okay, you said how can we get more creative or how can we encourage them? Which one is it?
Both. How can we get and encourage more creatives to be involved in social impact?
All right, great. Now, we have to realize that a lot of people have a feeling that is it premium that we're going to chop? Everybody's wondering, what are they going to eat? What are they going to eat? How are they going to make ends meet? And that's because of the concept that we all have that everything is all about money. The truth of the matter is that everything is not all about money. Everything you do in life is a seed. And I tell people that you need to sow seed. When you sow seed, you sow yourself as a seed, you will find out that God is actually going to give you a great harvest. So the first thing is that we need to change our mindset. When we change our mindset and we begin to talk to our youth that life is not all about microwave. Life is not all about get rich quick scheme. It's not all about overnight success. There is a process to life. And part of that process to life is going to the university of life. Put it in your best, wherever you find yourself. And wherever you find yourself, you sow seed of your ability and your capability. Because at a point in time, you will reap that. It may not be where you sow the seed that you will reap it, but you will surely reap it. And I have seen that countless times in my life. So when we sow seed, doing it is a thankless job, right? But when you do that, and you want people's life to get better, you will find out with time, you will get destiny helpers that will move your course forward. So the first things first is to change our mindset that sowing seeds is more important than reaping harvest, because you will surely reap the harvest. So I'm encouraging young people. You have a skill, you have an ability, go out there and change a life. So it into somebody's life. I've done several free. I cannot even count how many free trainings I've done in my life. I've done so many. But as I keep on doing that, federal government look for me because they want to pay me hundreds of millions. All right? It will get to the point that the people who are your destiny helpers will find you and they will pay you what you are worth, and even what you are even more than worth. So sow the seeds and you will reap it mightily in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah. Great insights. Great insights.
Can I add to that?
Yes, you can add to that. So we'll just take one last word from all of you.
I think she made a very profound statement about you sowing yourself as a seed. It reminds me of when we started our program here in Nigeria, when we go to pediatric oncology at Luth, mostly on weekend on Saturday, where I get to spend my time with children that had leukemia. I was a primary school art teacher at that time, right? I was a primary school art teacher, but it's not about being a primary school art teacher. It's about your attitude towards life, right? So Monday to Friday, I go to the place where I was fully employed. On Saturday, I spend my Saturday working with children that have leukemia. Nobody told me what to do. I decided to do that. I don't have anybody that have leukemia in my family. I thought about how can art be used as a means of therapy for children. So sometimes you don't need to have a problem before thinking about using that problem to launch something. You don't need to have that problem. Just think about what you have and how that can benefit other people. I remember when we started, so few of the team members that that were working with us are like, oh, what is in it for me? What is in it for me? I like, bro, nothing's in it for you than what we are saying. What is in it for you is these children here. Make them happy. And I remember that many of them stopped following us to the hospital to do program. In fact, one of them told me categorically and said, Kunle, you will not go far. I mean, though people feel like, by doing good and by not getting instant reward, you can't go far in life. So they couldn't see far, but I was doing it, and all I was doing was enjoying my journey. I love doing it. Like I said, whether anybody clap for me or not is not my business. If what I do make somebody to smile, if what I do make a child to smile, that's all I want. And I've seen how God rewarded my passion and my faithfulness. Right? I've seen how God. I'm in meeting with the president of US. I knew where I was coming from. I spoke earlier on about being born into a family of 14, and they will live in one room apartment in Mushin. I was almost born in a slum area. But I never had it in mind that one day I'll be meeting with the US president, meeting with the Nigerian president. But by putting myself out there to do good for other people, God opened doors that my hands are too small to knock. I don't need to knock, it opened the door. Naturally, those doors open for me. So there are things in life. So I used to also tell people that, no matter how much, no matter how talented you are, being kind and showing kindness to others is different from having a degree. I've seen people who are first class and they are not kind people. They are very rude and very arrogant. And I've seen people who don't have strong academic profile, but just being a human being, being able to show kindness to other people, they've used that as a leverage to become great in life. I've seen people question me, they meet me in certain places. Only, how did you get here? Right? People start questioning your presence in the room of full of great people because they feel like you are not qualified. You don't have, the strong academic profile as it were. So what I would say is, just in addition to what Henrietta has said, put yourself outside there. Put yourself outside there. And stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for an event, a big event. No. Usually God uses small events to test our faithfulness. And then it starts opening doors little by little that will lead to bigger places that we actually dream of getting to. Right? Put yourself out there, do what you can, make money, but think about what you can do that other people cannot pay you back for. I've seen that work in my life. Whatever you do it for the sake of purpose, do it for the sake of value, do it for the sake of people that can never pay you back. Money is not everything. Humanity is everything.
Wow. Money is not everything, you manage everything. Put yourself out there first. Don't wait until they pay you. Put yourself, speak to all of you young people, put yourself out there. Start doing something. So we're going to take one more word from all our panelists before we go this evening. Let's start from Lekon. What do you think? How has it been today? What are your passing words for creatives out there?
So I would say start with what you have. The You're always looking out for waiting for the government to do some certain things. Meanwhile, those things are what you can easily do to someone else in need. So if we all, like Mr. Kunle said, vanity is everything. If we all have each other in mind, the work of the government would be reduced, and then everywhere becomes a happy place. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So be the change first, don't wait for the government. All right, Henrietta, how far with you? What are your passing words? You're muted. You are muted. You are muted. Hello, you are muted. Henrietta, we cannot hear you. You are muted. Oh, let's pass the baton to Kunle. Your passing words for us today.
Okay, my parting word for you all today is that the small one can become the big one. The small one can become the big one. So don't despise the seed that you have. If you despise the seed that you have, you cannot command the harvest that you desire. Stop despising what you have. Stop despising your talent. There's so much more that you can become. There's so much more to you than where you are now. Don't stop moving. Can you hear me? 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 Yes. So yes, my parting word for everyone is don't stop believing in what God has given to you. Don't despise your seed. Start small and keep thriving. You might look small now, but doesn't mean that you will remain small forever. Just like every seed that is planted is awaiting the time of harvest. So everything in life is time and season. And then when you are in your season, your growth season, you don't start comparing yourself to people who are already like making waves. Just wait for your time. Life is turn by turn. Life is turn by turn. So don't despise where you are now. Never. Don't despise where you are now. You can do much more. And you can be much more too. So keep growing. Don't stop growing. And don't despise the process. Keep watering yourself. Keep building relationship, right relationship that will help you to nurture your dreams, nurture your purpose, that will help you to thrive and become that great person that God has actually destined you to be. So don't despise yourself. Yeah, I'm here.
Kunle, can you hear me? Welcome back.
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, so can we have your passing words that you were sharing with us?
So my passing word for everybody is this.
Please, can you go ahead with what you were sharing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Excellent. So don't despise your seed. Because contained in your seed is a great harvest.
All right. Don't despise your seed. I think we're going to take it on that note. Don't despise your seed. Because of time, we're going to have to wrap up now, but let's look at the key nuggets we have gotten today for creatives. Start using what you have. In a nutshell, we heard from Olakunle, said a street in Owo Road. They were dancing and they got the government to come and tar their road through dancing. So nothing is useless. So creatives, let's have this at the back of our hearts. So let's have final words from Henrietta, Kunle, and Lekon again. All right, so.
All right. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Is it clear now? Can you hear me?
It's very clear.
Okay, so my final words, thank you. Yeah, my final words is invest in yourself, develop yourself. Don't stay on the same point. Never rest on your oars. Always be a lifelong learner because that is going to take you far. Never ever stop learning. That's my final words. And you will continue to shine. Thank you.
Thank you, Henrietta. Never stop learning. Kunle, let's hear you.
I'm just going to add to what Henrietta have said, that don't stop learning. I would also say that everything in life is time and season. You have to wait for your time. You have to wait for your turn. So while waiting for your time and while waiting for your turn, don't stop moving. Don't stop growing. Don't stop learning, because when your time comes, you will remember what you've done in the years past, and it will become your moment of celebration, right? So life is turn by turn. Life is time and season. While waiting for your time, while waiting for your turn, don't stop growing, because your turnaround will come.
Thank you so much, Kunle. Lovely shot. So we're going to bring it close very soon. Don't forget, our campaign is still on, Audience 2K, our giving challenge from November 30th to December 30th. 2K to that account, 020-888-3097 GT account. Thank you very much. You can join us tomorrow on this same channel, Facebook and YouTube, by 5 p.m. for Words on Marble. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.